Green, green river laid out by my front door. And I'm miles and miles from the nearest.
If it was only alcoholic when you did that.
Yes.
It sounds so cool, but in reality, it's seltzer water.
It sounds like we're drinking a Budweiser,
anyways.
but we're actually drinking a seltzer, a lemon lime seltzer from Harris Teeter.
All right.
0 calories.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talk About with Biff Lucky and Mr. Fun, the podcast where we will talk about everything. We will talk about anything. Quite frankly, we will talk about it all.
Yes.
Rockfish leading us in with Chesapeake Time. This is, by the way, it's I had to change it when I post these podcasts. This is season 3, episode 2.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, right? Because we are now, I think, we're 106, I think, now.
Okay.
Something like that is the number of episodes we've done.
So Rockfish is down in some warm climate down in Florida.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, this week we got snow.
God.
A big bunch of snow hit the D.C. area.
Yeah, and then I was in Delaware where it snows like it's like snowpocalypse because they don't own plows in that lower part of Delaware. The snow lasts.
Was it hard to drive around in your new locale?
It was harder, to be sure.
Do you, Mr. Fun, you notice his Delaware accent that he has now? You can tell.
Yeah, he's butchering the English
And
language.
it says the guy from Baltimore.
Says the guy who's a Baltimore twang and Mr. Vargina over here.
Yeah, Vargina. No, it's vaginer. I think it's vaginer is what you say, right?
I'm changing the world one mispronunciation at a time.
Very nice. So good. Hey, we are not drinking. We had a alumni event last night, so we did our fair share of Scotty's ish.
Yeah,
sort
it was
of thing.
Nice. I mean, we had 30 guys who went to college together, 35 plus years ago, spending time together, and it was really great. Scotty was there. We had some Scotty's drinks, of course, drank some red wine, ate some great food, and it was a nice time being.
So
there.
he's not only a supporter of the podcast, which we are thankful to have Scotty's involved, but for our alumni activity, he is a huge contributor.
Yeah, he's so generous to the undergraduate groups that we support, our alumni association that we work in, and no, he's a great, call him a benefactor of cheer.
I saw his engagement ring; it was really nice looking.
Really? It's big?
He doesn't have an engagement ring. It's a guy.
I thought you meant the one that he gave.
No, I saw it.
Well, it's funny. I was at an event with Jen and Scotty, and it was like the first time we saw them since they were engaged. She didn't have her ring on.
Really?
And I'm like, what's going on? She goes, oh, no, I had to go get it fitted or something like that.
Well, which means it was truly a surprise.
Yeah.
He told me he was doing it on the beach in Waikiki. So it's really cool. So good for him.
He did say she was surprised.
All right, Mr. Fun, do you have a joke to start us off?
To preface this, I've been for the last couple of weeks on the Dayquil NyQuil diet, and I wasn't that fun last night because I didn't drink a lot.
You were fun. You're always fun.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So anyway, I struggled to find some jokes. In fact, I'm struggling to find one right now. Oh, so this guy runs off. He has sex with a prostitute, and his wife finds out about it, and she's like, "I can't believe that you had sex with a prostitute." He goes, "What did you think?" I mean, we haven't done it for months. And she said, "Oh, I didn't know you were willing to pay for it." No.
Yikes.
Is it funny? Thank you.
Where in the world is JK? Just so we can keep up with the whereabouts of JK. This past week, he was in California. I saw some golf pictures, which is nice. Then he was in Chicago, in Salt Lake City. He gets around.
We'd all like to be JK.
Right? Again, skiing the week before in Montana and Wyoming. Then golfing in California. Then the second city, Chicago. What's Chicago's nickname?
The Windy City.
The Windy City, right? The Windy City was there. Blows in, blows out, which I believe is the urban legend about why it's called the Windy City.
It's because it's on the lake, and
but I also think it's a metaphor for people coming in and out because it was sort of the heart. It was sort of the beginning to the west, right? So people would go to Chicago, and then they'd keep.
Are you inventing this? Or I've never heard that.
It's an urban. I think it's probably urban myth. I will admit that, but if you look it up, it says that it's for people blowing in and blowing out of town.
So he's going to all these exotic locales, and he's delivering goods and services, or his goods to.
Do you know
point A to point B?
That's right. Do you know the windiest city in the U.S.? This is a serious question.
No.
Oklahoma City is apparently reportedly the windiest city in the U.S.
Yeah.
So
they have a lot of tornadoes there.
They have, it is it's on the plains for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Biff, you might know this. So I'm watching one of my favorite shows, homestead rescue.
What the hell is that?
Yeah. Oh, it's where you go and people are living off the grid, and there's a family that they have expertise, and they go in there and they basically save their property and teach them how to be self-sufficient, etc. But anyway, they're in Alaska, and they're in the shadows of the North America's biggest mountain,
Denali.
Yeah.
Or Mount McKinley. It was Mount McKinley when we were growing up, but they went back to the native world.
When? Why?
Oh, it's like they changed Bombay to Mumbai. Things happen. People just do that.
So all these people are upset when Trump is saying, I'm going to rename the Gulf of Mexico to
Gulf of America.
There's precedent for that. Changing the name of a place,
or
all the time,
and the precedent of we talked about. He wants to take over Greenland and
to acquire
Canada,
Greenland,
and the Panama. Like that's happened in history.
Well, you know what's interesting about that? Nobody has mentioned this except me. Is that like 1901, we bought our Virgin Islands from Denmark.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, it same country, same idea of acquiring a territory. Interesting that people are like outraged by it now. Not that it's just kind of fun to talk about, in my opinion, but it's interesting.
But the Greenland thing is doing more because it's definitely going to keep coming up. The Greenland thing, it's just from a strategic standpoint.
Yeah.
If you looked, and I saw a picture of the globe or the map, if you will, from the top of the world, and you look at how much land Russia has versus how much land the U.S. has, or the strategic powers, if you want to count the U.S. and Canada together, Russia by far dominates, obviously, the northern part of the globe.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Well, it's the whole. Well, first of all, it's that half the people in the world hate Trump and half like him. But it's the way that he's saying it. Like basically, we're going to get it no matter what.
The mistake they made is Don Jr. went this past week.
But why was that a mistake?
Well, it's just sort of weird. He floated it, and then Don Jr. shows up on the doorstep.
But he said, "I'm just here on a recreational visit."
Yeah, which is BS, obviously. But it's 52,000 people, and they could. I mean, the U.S. could set them up for life.
Well, the news now, and I don't know how accurate it is. The leader of Greenland, I don't know who that is trying to get working towards independence
from Denmark,
which apparently is on the calendar. It could happen soon. They could vote for independence, and then he would talk to the U.S. about
the issue. Though, so Denmark must support them financially. They must.
Do.
So if they go independent, they've got no infrastructure, the funds for infrastructure.
Right.
So it's going to be a problem if he does that. I think
unless there's a second part of it,
right? And so maybe it's like when Quebec in Canada wants to go independent,
right?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's Puerto Rico,
right?
All right, Bev. Here's the question. So I'm planning a European vacation, and so I know you've done a lot of travel for your job and other things. So okay, how many days? We're thinking of a London, Paris, and Amsterdam. Now I know Amsterdam is on your list of a place to visit, but how many days do you think is needed in a Paris and a London?
You need 2 solid days
in
each. Not your arrival day doesn't count as a day. I think you need to arrive then 2 days in each place.
Each of these places.
They're big cities. There's a lot to see. You got to take transportation to get some things around. I would do 2 days.
Okay. All right.
I can't speak for Amsterdam, but I would imagine Amsterdam is probably a day solid. At least, because there's museums in Amsterdam, right? Van Gogh and the Dutch Masters and things like that.
And the Red Light District, right?
Mr. Fun has actually been to the Red Light District.
I have been.
In Amsterdam?
So, wait, 2 quick stories. 3. So it's a work trip. Keep this in mind. And we go visit the Sex Museum in Amsterdam, and everybody's stoned there. And I think half their tourist attractions are meant for people who have smoked a little weed before they go. So we're in the Sex Museum. It's weird. Like you can get pictures of yourself. Like there's like a dominatrix, and you can lie on the ground, and it looks like she's peeing on you. Like it's like a fountain, and you can take pictures that look real.
Did you do that?
Maybe. Maybe.
Wait, why haven't we seen those?
But you
pictures?
were with Mrs. Fun, right?
I was with Mrs. Fun. It was a lot of laughs. I mean, it's supposed to be fun. It's you can lean over in front of a dominatrix wearing pegging you, as Biff likes to say.
He doesn't need to go to a museum for pegging.
Right, exactly.
That comes in real life.
Exactly. And then so you got that, and then it ends with you're watching Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, and the dwarfs all have these huge penises, and they're all like going to town on Snow White, and you find yourself sitting watching this movie in a room, sitting on a tiny mushroom. The whole thing.
Is the floor sticky?
I don't know. No, I mean not when I was there. But anyway,
hope not.
So that was that, and then you bounce over to my first coffee shop where you go in. It's like a bar. Everybody's smoking, and they're selling it at what looked like a DJ stand. Like you have to go up, and they have this laminated card with all the different types, and they give you some advice, and you buy it.
Buying weed, marijuana.
Yep. And then, not that I participated in that. And then, the third story is just so funny. It's a work trip. There's 200 people there, and at the last day, they're showing the windmills and people who are exploring the tulip. The flower market and stuff like that, and there's like we all had a great time, and some people had too great a time. And there's this giant where it's a conference room screen, and there I am like with my eyes shut at the coffee bar, like overindulgent.
Really?
Yeah, that's how the trip ended, and yeah, that was my.
How is the I've been meaning to ask you, Mr. Fun. How's your weight loss of 2024 going?
Well, that's another thing.
2025.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so I'm staying steady at the moment, but I just upped the dose of the Ozempic, so we'll see. Like I'm sitting here today, I feel like I'm sweating.
So, and you are injecting it into yourself, or is Mrs. Fun assisting?
Mrs. Fun, I can't do it myself yet. I'm a little squeamish.
So she shoots it to where? Into your stomach, your hip? Where does it go?
So I take a real big handful of my stomach fat, and I present it to her, and she stabs me with the.
Is it super painful, or have you gotten used to it? You can never get used to a needle going in, but do you?
It actually depends. Most of the time, I don't feel it at all.
It's a little needle,
yeah,
right?
there have been some times that I feel it.
Really?
Yeah, I feel it. So, but you know what? I'm going to give it one big push, guys. I got, from 260, and they're telling me I'm supposed to weigh under 200. That's a lot of weight.
You have really, I noticed it.
You noticed
Even
it?
I see you a lot, and I've noticed it.
Again, 260. Let's be honest. That wasn't the first number you gave us.
256 is what I told you,
right.
and then I embellished it to the highest rounding up number, because I'm sure I hit that at one point in my life.
Well, I'm sure you have, but that wasn't where you started.
Yeah, so that's
so, and Lucky, you are in the process of 7 pounds.
Yeah, I'm trying to lose 7 pounds by the end of the month. So I've lost 4.
Really?
Okay. And it's weird. Like when you're working with that small a weight, like, you could have one bad night of eating and you go back up a pound or whatever.
Okay.
So to help me to get to my goal, and to get down into the, my 7 pounds, I saw this, this supplement. It's a dietary supplement, and it's by a company called Life Extension, and it's AMPK metabolic activator, but it fights belly fat, which is where I refer to myself as a skinny fat man.
Yeah.
Like I'm skinny pretty much. My face is a little chunkier now, but a lot of my limbs and stuff are thinner, but my stomach is, and that's where I'd like to lose some weight. So
like a distended stomach, like an Ethiopian child.
He looks like a pregnant man.
Yeah. So
he's got that punch de Leon.
So I started.
Again, well done with the English language there, Mr. Bud.
But have you guys ever taken any of these these supplements?
It's all.
You think it's a scam? Because these are the ingredients in it: microcystine, cellulose, citric acid, some kind of sodium, hypoxyl, blah blah blah.
If it wasn't a scam, Ozempic wouldn't exist.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
I'm sure somewhere there says not FDA approved. Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, you store it in a tightly closed, cool, dry space.
Yeah. Next to your seltzer water and no sugar.
There's a lot of warnings.
Yeah.
To keep it out of the reach of children. Do not exceed recommended dose. Do not purchase if outer seal is broken. Nothing about taking too much of it.
I missed it. Are you taking that?
Yeah, I'm going to take one of these a day for 30 days just to see if it does anything.
Got it. I started a bowel movement yesterday at 11:59, and I finished at 12:02. Yeah, it was the same shit, different day.
So I've been watching a lot of shows. Interesting thing what's happened, I think, in society. This isn't just for the U.S., but other places that people are no longer believing what they've been told over time. And one of them is, if you want to talk about, I don't want to go too far down the COVID rabbit hole, but you were told certain things that are proving to be wrong, right? The economy, you could probably point to some of the same things. The food industry has become the next big target, right? About the things that you were told are healthy, gluten-free being one key word that really at the end of the day doesn't mean anything if all the food has got all this other crap in it. And how much since the mid-'70s the food industry has changed in the U.S. and people have gotten fatter,
Yeah. Well, they say that the cigarette companies who were promoting that as, a lot of people smoked in the 60s and 70s, nicotine and the addiction there. When all the focus got put on them, those same companies
bought the food companies.
They became conglomerates and started getting the food
Right.
business.
So I going back to your pills here, the pill isn't going to work nearly as good as just changing your diet. At the end of the day, there's no pain, no gain. There's a true statement, I think, in that you can't just take a pill to lose weight.
Well, you can get a shot to lose weight.
Yeah, but you also, I think, to accelerate losing weight, and Mr. Fun can comment, if there's exercise involved, it drop quicker.
Theoretically.
Right, theoretically. I look at you. You've lost weight, so you've been doing something, right? Whether it's sitting naked at a sauna.
I'm just not hungry anymore. I'm just eating so much less.
Yeah. So, but I think though that if you could just change off of some of the manufactured food, I think the weight will drop off.
The New York Times, if anybody's looking to get themselves out of processed food, who feel like you eat too much of it, the New York Times is doing this. They've been doing it for the last couple of weeks. It's like a 5-week thing of some different articles on how to eliminate ultra processed foods, and they have these really online, really cool online interactive quizzes.
Yeah.
And okay, you're in the grocery store and you want to buy some pizza, frozen pizza. So I thought all frozen pizza is ultra processed, not good for you. But there are some that are better, natural ingredients, that kind of thing. Same thing with sports drinks and different meats and that kind of stuff. So if anybody's interested in getting,
I mean, the simple rule is obviously the more ingredients it has, the worse it is, right? The more processed it is, generally speaking. And I think that's like that pizza, for example, may have semolina flour instead of all this bleached, enriched crap that goes with it. So there's stuff that you can find. For sure.
Okay. So I went to our dumb question box for a couple food related things.
Oh.
Okay. So Mr. Fun.
Yeah.
What food best describes your personality?
A meatball hero.
Meatball hero. That's actually that's good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
What about you, Beth? What food best describes your personality?
That's a good question. You would tell me. I'm sure whatever I say is
skinless chicken breast.
Pate.
Okay. Screw you guys.
Escargot.
I don't. That's good. I'd like to think of a crab cake, but I'm not sure that's true.
What
I'm
about
not a
us?
native.
What do you think best describes us?
Well, the meatball, he's spot on, by the way.
Really?
I think meatball was very good for him. For
Mr.
you,
Fun's meatball hero.
What about Lucky?
What would Lucky be from a food standpoint?
I don't know. I think he's a
I can't be put in a box at all.
Chicken sandwich.
I've seen him cook though. He is quite the cooker.
Really?
Right? He's cooked for us. He wears the apron like a maid.
Interesting.
Like it's very. Unfortunately he doesn't wear his pants sometimes. So
we had a Biff slept over last night, and he gets up first thing in the morning, and Mr. What's your hexclad pans and whatever?
Hexclad pans.
He gets in my kitchen, and we don't have the hexclad pans, but he starts cooking. He starts making.
I made the French toast,
and whatever. And I was a little I thought he was going to think less of me because of the pots and pans.
You made the bacon. You're the bacon. Your food is the bacon. You're good. You're good on you're good on the traditional foods, whatever they are.
He's like eggs and bacon.
He's an eggs and bacon. He's an eggs and bacon guy.
But it was funny because Biff was, while he was cooking,
right,
while he was also he was talking to my wife and her friend who actually also spent the night, and she slept in another room, by the way. Okay. Mr. Fun, just so you know.
Yeah, jeez.
But it was
that
I got a lot of explaining to do for this podcast.
It was Sleepy Speeches meets Betty Crocker. That's how I referred to Mr. Fun, to Biff in the kitchen this morning.
Preaching? What was he doing?
Well, you had a lot of things to say to his supposed audience. Nobody fell asleep. We'd all just woken up.
I got it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for that compliment, by the way.
Yeah. Lucky's first date, he went to a French restaurant with this really small girl. You remember her, Lucky?
No.
And afterwards, his buddy said, "How was the French restaurant?" He said, "I didn't know. I just wanted to bon appetit."
Bon appetit. Okay.
I knew petite was coming. I'm like, how's this going to go?
All right. Provocative question number 2.
Yeah.
What food would you eat out of the trash?
Okay, but let me. Have you ever eaten food out of the trash? Is the first part of that question, Mr. Fun.
Yeah, I've accidentally thrown something away and then had second thoughts about it.
No, okay, but second thoughts versus eating it. Did you grab
I ate it? That's
you ate it. Okay.
Yeah, I pulled it back out.
What was it?
A slice of pizza.
A slice of pizza.
There's been numerous times where I've just thrown food away, and my kids come back and they're like, I wanted that. I'm like, it's in the trash. You can get it, and they pull it out and eat it. I don't think I've eaten.
Well, and we can get a little silly here with the condition. Like, is it in the box? Is it in the,
right?
What's it touching?
The 3-second rule in the trash.
What's like you could throw food into a empty garbage bag and people
like a brand new,
and people
bag.
Still wouldn't eat it. They would just
which I wouldn't think there's an issue there because you assume that there's the garbage bag is sanitized,
right?
Yeah, so
it depends what I'm throwing it onto.
I've probably done that. I imagine I might have done that on something new, something like that. Well, it's like throwing something into the sink. The sink isn't the cleanest thing in the world. I've picked something out of the sink before.
I have a terrible childhood memory of barbecue. We had this rotisserie. This is like the 70s, and you plugged it into your grill, and it automatically turned the meat. We had this big roast on there, and I remember, it was turning the meat, and it started to thunderstorm. And my dad goes, "Grab the grill!" And we open up the garage door, and we're wheeling it in, and the thing rolls off the barbecue grill into the oil pit, into the oil spot.
Oh no!
And there's leaves, and he lifts it up. It's covered with oil leaves, and he goes, "Don't tell your mom." And he wipes it off, and we ate it for dinner.
That's crazy. Are you guys? Dave, I'm a huge Dave Portnoy fan of Barstool Sports fame, and he does his pizza reviews, and he's done a ton of. He started doing his reviews in like the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, but every time he sort of goes to a new city, I think a lot of times promoting Barstool Sports. For like different things.
For sure.
And when he's sponsoring sporting events or whatever, he'll do pizza reviews in those towns. And he just made his way through Baltimore, which is awesome. So he did, for those of you who are big pizza aficionados, get the One Bite app. It's an app you download, and it's got pizza reviews that he has done, but also others have done. So if you go to a town and you want to know where a great pizza place is, you go to this app. Anyway, so he's done 5 of them, but there's, and they gave him some high scores. So anybody who wants to go visit Frank's in Overley got an 8.3. I would highly encourage you.
Where is Overley?
Overley. It's like a little, I think it's west of Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah. But he did reviews in Highlandtown, Fells Point, Little Italy, and Federal Hill. And the Federal Hill one was interesting. It was the first one he did. It was the Tiny Brick Oven. He gave a 7.9, which is a really great score. But Tiny Brick Oven was struggling to get their liquor license and was about to go out of business.
It had a sign that said,
sign on the box.
Going out Christmas Day, I think was their last
Yeah,
one.
and so that was the first review he did, and he donated $60,000 to keep Tiny Brick Oven open for another year so that they could get their liquor license. So
I resisted watching those because, I don't know, are these funny, not funny? I'm totally addicted now. I'll watch 5 in a row.
I get to the point where I try to guess the score, and I'm actually pretty good at guessing the score in terms of the range. Like if you can tell when he's going to score something in the 7s versus an 8.
Well, since we're talking about it, maybe you can help me. I don't understand the categories of pizza. He has like bar pizza.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have like football pizza?
He has football pizza,
it's
bar
a little
pizza.
thicker. Bar pizza is a thinner pizza.
Thinner.
Yeah. Football pizza is traditional, like
New York style, but not.
A little puffier.
It's got a lot more cheese and stuff like that.
And then he'll have like pan pizza or something like that.
He doesn't do, well, he's done Sicilian, which is the thicker, or Detroit style.
He doesn't do Neapolitan.
He doesn't like Neapolitan style pizza.
Okay.
Which are the smaller, more like designer pizza.
Loves when it has a crunch. Love when it's crisp. I get a little confused sometimes when he's talking about the flop. Sometimes he's okay with the flop. Sometimes he criticizes
because if it's floppy, it's not crispy.
Yeah. All right.
But anyway, so it's cool that he came through Baltimore and did 5. He was going to the Army-Navy game, so he stopped through Baltimore.
Yeah.
And so anyway.
All right, let me ask you this question. What are you great at in terms of your taste of a food? Like when you eat something, can you tell? Like I was thinking about it yesterday. We had great steaks yesterday, and I ate it. I ate the steak, and I heard a couple comments like, "Oh, I like mine a little bit less, more rare, or more."
Right.
I heard some comments. I didn't offer any comments because I ate a piece of steak, however it's cooked, almost. What are you an expert at?
I would say critique? One thing. If I was going to do a One Bite app, kind of thing, I'd maybe do like orange crushes at the beach. Like what bar has the best ones?
I mean, I'm pretty good on crab cakes. Really? As a lot of people are, to be fair. I mean, I think I know what a good crab cake is versus a not good crab cake.
Mine is definitely chicken wings.
Oh yeah.
Like I can tell you where the good.
What's a good chicken? How do you define a good chicken?
Well, first of all, it can't be too small or too big. Like you can have too much meat on a chicken wing. Now, I know people are like, "Oh, these are really meaty wings." Then it's a piece of chicken to me.
So, and specifically, question: chicken wing is a wing. The chicken wings come with drumsticks. Are you saying chicken wing, the specific wing?
That's interesting you ask, because I'll eat both obviously, because they both come, but I prefer the drumstick.
You prefer the drumstick?
I do prefer the drumstick to the
not the flat.
Right.
They call them flats,
yeah,
right?
they call them flats.
Right.
But again, it can't be too big, can't be too small. I don't like, well, first of all, I'm not a dry rub guy. I'm always a wet wing. And I also feel like I can tell when the wing was made and then just kind of put in a bowl and mixed in with the sauce. Like, I think it has to go back on the grill once the sauce is added.
Yeah.
So
I'm not the dry, like at the Old Bay, I'll eat those.
Yeah.
They're totally not. I mean, I love the barbecue-esque sauces.
I like the drier ones. If you give me, honestly, if you give me jerk chicken dry versus Old Bay, I'll take the jerk. I just think that even though I like Old Bay, it just becomes too ubiquitous. You just want to have something different.
I don't like to get too far away from the traditional buffalo wing.
Rob G and I are about to, and Brian E of Sandy Spring, we're all about to head up to Connecticut for a little guys' weekend to visit Pete and Andy, Andy M, who's been on the podcast as a guest before. And in the early days after Maryland, we used to go. They lived in the city, and we go into Greenwich Village. They had this amazing place. I would like to, if I go back to New York City, I'd love to go to it. And Mr. Fun, you'd love it. It's called this place called Down the Hatch, and starting at noon, they had a place, all the wings and all the beer you can drink from noon to 2.
Oh, jeez.
And everybody was waiting in line to get in there, and it was like
perfect.
You know, and
it's
so
heaven. It's
that's
heaven.
your heaven for you.
It's heaven for me. Yeah, that's my happy place. Can you give quickly? How do you judge? Give some categories? How do you judge the best Orange Crush?
Orange Crush.
Fresh juice, or what are you looking for?
Yeah, it's well, it's funny because you'll see a lot of people who've already press the juice before you get there versus some of them actually press the oranges right in front of you. Yep. I think that's
big.
That takes you up a few points if you're pressing right out of the gate.
Okay.
The quality of vodka. I always I don't go with the rail. I don't like the rail vodka they put in, so I'll say Scotty's at the beach, of course. And if they don't have Scotty's, go for like a Kettle One or something like that. I like a better vodka in the.
Don't some people add another alcohol to their?
Well, triple sec is usually, and I don't like it to be ultra sweet.
Yep.
So I will drink a traditional Orange Crush with the triple sec. Sometimes I take
also a little club soda or never?
Club soda, the skinny version.
Okay, wait. So build your perfect.
I drink skinny crushes with a premium vodka.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Biff, what about crab cakes? What are you looking for?
Less bready. Less bread that you can, more back fin crab meat, which is the thick pieces of meat.
Okay.
And but you can see where they put too much bread into it. They use cheaper
on a roll like a crab cake sandwich. Or that's not where you
I
go?
tend to have it as a broiled, like a lump, like a patty.
I really think, and people are afraid of the fried. I think fried crab cakes, what people stay away from. Everybody mostly eats the broiled. I like the fried.
I don't think it matters to me. I guess health-wise, we talked health, but maybe broiled's better, but I don't think it matters.
I like them because they're more moist, the fried ones.
So
okay, as we move forward in our career as podcasters, I'd love for you to bring, when you've had a great Orange Crush or a great crab cake, when I have a great wing, I'm going to let people
I should have picked a cheaper food.
I know.
Jeez, I'm going to have to back up the truck.
What's a crab cake sandwich?
It's $25 typically now for a crab cake. 2 crab cakes, $50 for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So are you going to now that you're in Delaware on the Eastern Shore, are you going to put some crab pots out anywhere?
Yeah, I'm gonna go chicken necking, right, just off the pier, right? No, I'm not doing that.
You should.
I'm not. Why?
Because then you can go kill some time and get some crabs.
Again, there's a point where I like to pay people to do things like that. I'm not paying to do that. So, but
leave it to the professionons.
The other thing that was this week was these wildfires in L.A. Oh my gosh, it's like tragic what's going on out there. It's like the fire and all the emergencies. They can't even. There's nothing they can do to control it. I mean,
tough.
They're just they've had issue getting water. So you'll see the trucks in outside of a burning neighborhood, and there's no water. It's tragic.
I'm not a pilot, but those guys who scoop out the water from the ocean and dump it,
and then drive through the smoke in what is obviously different temperatures.
Yeah,
and this plane's got to be bouncing around. They're doing crazy stuff.
Those are superheroes.
This is why this goes back. There should not be a water shortage in LA. They have an ocean right outside. This is the desalinization thing, and why they don't don't allow it, it's just ridiculous in California.
What does that mean? So explain
meaning
that.
Because they've got the reservoirs are where their water comes from, right? It's got to come from mountains or rain over time, and there's a whole controversy around that. And they had one big empty one above Pacific Palisades since February of last year. They should have water in it. The reality is that they have an ocean and they could desalinate water so people could drink that water, right? Or in this case, fill a reservoir up with that same water. There's mixed things going on in California.
Why don't they want salinate it?
Because there's an environmental concern on the byproduct.
The salt that
right,
comes out
the brine or whatever comes out of it. But meanwhile, other parts of the Middle East is notoriously they use desalination.
Yeah.
And you've got the Pacific Ocean right there. They should be able to desalinate it. And you've just got these powerful groups in California that won't allow it to happen. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, if going to a sports bent here. So the LA Rams were hosting the wild card game against the Minnesota Vikings. They moved the game to Arizona.
Right.
And I was like, when I saw that, because Reed from California, who's going to be a relative of mine very soon, I went out to his engagement party a month or so ago. He's a huge LA Rams fan, and he was like, I'm like, oh, you get a playoff game, you're excited, and then they move it to Arizona. So, but the tickets went on sale, and like they sold them in a split second. So I was just curious, like, are there going to be LA and Minnesota fans?
So it was interesting, kind of on a related note. So I'm listening to the Maryland UCLA game, which was Friday night. I got to get my times right here. And they were talking about, and we'll come back to the Maryland game because I know you guys are in attendance, but they were mentioning that Northwestern was supposed to do a trip to play USC and UCLA because the Big Ten now, you've got to play in these kind of double trips, right? Double games.
Yep.
And Northwestern said they didn't want to go out, and they didn't do it because UCLA said they couldn't play there, or USC. They just made the decision unilaterally not to travel to California. Meanwhile, now it's screwed up the Big Ten schedule because Northwestern decided not to fly from Chicago to L.A. For the games, which was an interesting thing because I was listening to the LA broadcast that was on Sirius, which was kind of fun to watch or listen to. But you guys were at the game.
Well, Northwestern. Go. So didn't Northwestern's basketball team just have an airplane scare?
They may have.
Yeah, they were on a runway and another plane came across their bow, and it was like split seconds from having a disaster. And so maybe they're gun shy because of that.
They could be,
that
but
like a week ago.
But they made the point on the broadcast that it was not UCLA or USC's decision for Northwestern not to travel to California to play a basketball game.
Did you hear? Speaking of planes cross the path or whatever, I saw it yesterday, so I think it's really new. There's a air traffic controller talking to a regular passenger plane, and he says, just an alert at 4,000 feet, you're going to see a flight of 6 F-35s. Crossing your path or whatever. And the guy who must have had a great sense of humor and knew the air traffic controller would too. He goes, Roger that, switching from missiles to guns. Yeah, so funny. The guy laughed. He goes, that's a really funny response.
So I used to fly, my boss in California had a plane and I flew with it. It was a single engine plane, but it was instrument rated. So we were flying one day into LA, into Orange County, and the air traffic control comes on. We're coming over Big Bear, California. So let's say the mountains are 11,000 feet. We're 14,000 feet. And he said the name of the plane. I forgot what his plane, but they do it by, Beechcraft Bonanza, blah, blah, blah. He goes, a Southwest jet is about to fly over you. So as I'm sitting in what would be effectively the co-pilot seat, not touching anything. This Southwest jet flies over top, maybe within about 1,000 feet. It's the craziest thing in the world because you're just looking at the underbelly of this jet with no landing gear coming down.
I didn't think they came that close.
Because they have to, because there is a point where you've got to get close because you've got so much air traffic coming in.
Wow.
So it was incredible to watch this jet fly right over. I say 1,000 feet. I don't think it was much higher than that though. Yeah. For sure.
That is a crazy to think how many airplanes are in the air and how just great they are at their job.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
The whole system's so automated too.
Yeah.
So you were at the Maryland game.
Yeah.
I heard whispers of a fan situation. At the Maryland game.
Yeah. Well, before I start there, let me tell you about my first impression of the fans. Maryland is dying for good sports. I mean, we go there. We're dying for good sports. We root for it in football, but in basketball, winning builds an incredible fan base, and everybody is waiting for that to happen. You could see it. UCLA's in. They're ranked 22nd, so top 25, and it's break. It's Christmas break, and the crowd was there. I mean, it was.
They said that on the LA broadcast that there were 18,000 fans there.
Yeah.
When I was listening.
Yeah, it was a good crowd.
And I'll tell you, I mean, our history is when school's out, especially huge sections of at least the student section are empty. It was packed. It was a good crowd. They won the game. There was some stuff happening in the game that you could hear the crowd really building up. It was fun. It was
a blue blood program, right?
Yeah.
UCLA coming in is a big deal.
Absolutely.
It's not Nebraska.
Yeah.
I think that helps.
Yeah.
And Maryland needed a big win.
Because we lost 2 big West Coast games, right?
Yep.
Though you're seeing that the travel is becoming a problem.
Right. And in terms of what happened when we were at the game, and this is maybe a provocative question or something to think about for our audience. And it's funny because Lucky, I don't know if Lucky realizes how funny I thought it was.
Yeah.
So we're old now, and by the way, the student section at Maryland traditionally stands while the game.
The whole game.
The whole game. They sit down at a timeout. Otherwise they're up.
But your seats aren't near the student section.
Well, no, but we have a young guy.
Okay.
He may be,
Is he a normal? Does he sit in those
No,
seats?
I've never
normally?
seen the guy
Okay.
before, but he's with his family, I assume, and he's relatively young, maybe just graduated college, maybe even in school. I don't even know. He appears to be that young, and he's up every time he's cheering. He sits down, but it's a foul. It's a ball goes out of bounds.
He's standing up. He's up and now.
He jumps up and he starts screaming. He's like, "Yeah!"
And he's the only one in the section standing up.
Lucky has the pleasure of sitting directly in back of him,
And I'm like,
so
trying to go on the
I
other
hear
side.
Lucky at one time mumble under his breath, "I missed the whole play. I couldn't even see it." And then he looks over at me the next time. He goes, "Should I say something to him?" And I just start laughing because I go, "What are you going to say? Stop cheering for your team so much." So would you have done it, if a guy is showing his support for the team, he's standing up all the time? Would you have ever tapped
and
him
nobody else is standing
tapped
up.
him on the shoulder and say, "Please"? What would you have said exactly? What was
I
going
would
through
say
your
so.
head?
I was really close, and I said something to you instead of going to him.
Right. What would you have said? What words would have come out?
I
of
would
your
have been
mouth?
really cool about it.
Yeah,
because
of course, 'cause you're always
appreciate
really cool.
I appreciate the fact that he was cheering for Maryland, and I am too. I might say, dude, every time you stand up, I can't see. Would you mind? I mean, I'd say it like that, and maybe it would go well. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know.
I think you approach the fan. I think you do, especially if he's the exception to the wider rule, which is everybody else sitting around.
Right.
Why does he have to take such a prominent position?
Okay.
And because he's alone in his cheering in that sense, the way he's cheering.
Right.
I think it's okay to talk to somebody
Because
about it. Now if Lucky presents it like he did, which is politely, hey, you're impacting those around you by we can't see part of the game. If he's a jerk about responding, assuming Lucky asks it correctly, then he's in the wrong.
Right.
At that point.
Right.
He's making it about himself as opposed to being a fan.
Now, because I avoid conflict.
No, I get that.
There was a seat next to me, so I go to Lucky. I go, "You want to move over?" Because he could have seen perfectly.
Yeah.
If he moved over. No.
Then my dad, who went would have had the
his
same
dad
thing.
would have been in the bad seat then, but that was funny.
Okay, so
Yeah.
get that. This past baseball season, my son and I went to the Orioles game. Okay, and I don't know if we talked about this or not, but we're sitting in the lower section of the third base line,
Right.
But all the way at the top of the lower section,
Right.
Okay, so when we look at the game, like if we're looking at home plate, we got to look across a lot of people,
Right.
to see the action. Okay, so there was in baseball, like when there's a big play or whatever, so if somebody stands up, everybody else has to stand up behind them.
Right.
Okay. And I'm fine to sit down the whole game.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless there's something really crazy.
Yeah.
But there was one guy, probably 3 sections over, probably
Kept standing up.
700 people over, kept standing up. So we all had to stand up. So okay, just keep doing it. And again, there's one guy started it, and 700 people, including us, were standing up. We're in the last row. There was somebody behind us that complained about me standing up. And I prefer to sit.
Right.
We could have sat. But the guy over there stood up. Everybody else stood up. And so I stood up, and then I get the tap.
Yeah.
Sir, can you sit down? I'm like, if I sit down, I can't see. Go down there. Go about 700 people over and tell that guy.
So funny.
And my son and I were like, what the hell? What are we supposed to do there?
Yeah, I don't know.
And
Dilemma.
I kept saying, you tell that person, oh, no, sir, you're the one that got the complaint.
I find it, for some reason, I find it more at concerts to be an issue. Concerts, people stand up a lot, especially if you're in the front of.
Sure.
Ironically, if you're in the front, you stand up, and then everybody else behind you.
Because they're not 59 years old.
So,
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, Notre Dame, Ohio State in the national championship, the first 12 team. Who are you guys liking? I haven't seen the early line, but
I can't. Though I realize now that Maryland makes money if Ohio State wins.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I can't root for Ohio State. I root against them all year long.
So Notre Dame?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Notre Dame fan, so I guess I'd say Ohio State.
Yeah. I'm a Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame, so I'm probably rooting for those.
I think it's a good game, though. I think it's the semifinals were very good.
The two best teams make it, do you think?
It's hard to argue that they're not
at
this point. I think the Final Four teams were the best Final Four teams, which is better than last year's system of kind of automatically giving some people the route to get to the Final Four.
How about Notre Dame losing their second game to Northern Illinois of the season and go 13 in a row?
That to me, that proves the benefit of the system.
Yeah.
Right. That one game shouldn't knock you out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So we're approaching the goal line
in the fourth quarter.
Mr. Fun.
2-minute warning.
What if I punt?
No, you can punt.
Okay, no.
Yeah, we would like that option sometimes on your jokes. But do you have a risque joke to bring us home?
This woman is looking for a new boyfriend, and she puts a ad on the internet, and it says, "I'm looking for somebody who won't steal from me, somebody who won't run away from the relationship, and somebody who has a 10-inch cock." And so this guy, the doorbell rings, and she opens the door, and there's a guy, and he's got no arms and no legs. And she's like, "Hello?" And he's like, "I'm responding to your ad." And she goes, "Why do you think you're qualified?" And he says, "Well, I have no arms, so there's no way I could steal from you. And I have no legs, so I'd never run from the relationship." And she goes, "Yeah, but do you have a 10-inch cock?" He goes, "I rang the doorbell, didn't I?"
Yikes.
Very good. So, Lucky, how do they get a hold of us?
As always, talkabout2023@gmail.com. I love the feedback, so please keep it coming. It does give us some good ideas, and so we love to get it every week.
All right. Good. Mr. Fun, anything from you?
Did you guys know where funeral owners masturbate? In a crematorium.
Oh, my gosh.
Damn. Where do you get these jokes?
Did we really need that? So I think we're going to end the podcast on that.
Week.
Yeah, see you next week. Jeez Louise. So until we do it again next week, let me just say goodbye. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Talk About with Biff,
Lucky,
and Mr. Fun.
It's a podcast where we gladly, each week, bring you anything.
We'll talk about it all.
We will talk about it all.
I can't talk anymore. Done talking to you.
No, we're not going to use that one.
Pillow voices at my feet, living on Chesapeake time. Take it slow, take it easy, both good friends of mine. Brother, I'm just starting to unwind, living on Chesapeake time. Flip-flop shorts and a plain old tee. Haven't had a shave in a day or 3. Breeze is blowing, might take a sail, just to have a few more tales to tell. Living on Chesapeake time. Take it slow, take it easy, both good friends of mine. Brother, I'm just starting to unwind, living on Chesapeake time. Now somewhere in the back of my mind, know that I must start to make a plan. And if I somehow never find the time, know that we will be just fine. Know that she will understand. Couple of friends come floating by my dock. By morning my head's a gonna rock. Sleeping take it slow, take it easy. Both good friends of mine. Brother,